we're speaking to Mauritz Kotze today, and we've asked him to just shed some light on the issues around school coding and school robotics and what they're doing in their business. Mauritz, maybe as a start, what do you think is the real issue? Why are we talking school coding? Why is this currently a pressing issue?
The buzz basically started in July last year, in 2018, when the Minister of Education made an announcement that coding and robotics must be introduced into school. And the main emphasis was the fourth industrial revolution. We must prepare our kids for that. We can't be left behind. And we can't only be consumers of technology, we must actually now become creators of technology. And that is the whole buzz and the emphasis that started with that. So last 2 weeks ago, during the March holiday, I was involved reviewing and revisiting the draft coding curriculum. So that is in place for digital literacy that they are looking at all the way from grade R up to grade 9. And our role was how to introduce coding and robotics in the current curriculum to see if there's a fit, or must it be forced in, or can it actually easily just naturally flow in the curriculum?
Okay. Mauritz, I think one of the big things that we as a governing body association want to establish is how does it get practical? The department has wheels that are turning slow. So what can we do as a local school, as a governing body and school management team to introduce something like school coding, robotics, and all the elements of the fourth industrial revolution, specifically talking about in the curriculum? I don't think there's school coding yet, so there's no subject matter that we're talking about if you're talking about a draft curriculum. But what can we do inside the curriculum? How creative can we get with CAPS? And then the second thing is, what can we do extracurricular and extramural as far as you see the situation?
When it comes to the CAPS curriculum, there is actually space in the CAPS curriculum. I've added the word coding into the criteria. For example, coding equips learners irrespective of their socioeconomic background, race, gender. Coding provides access to higher education. Coding facilitates the transition of learners from educational institutions to the workplace. For that, you probably would require some creativity from the teacher's side. And that is where service providers such as ourselves come in with a curriculum that has already been created and developed and tested, piloted, that can be introduced to schools and just take the admin stress away from the teachers to create new content.
So there's something we can do inside CAPS, and then what can schools do outside of the curriculum in extramural and extracurricular?
All right.
Space?
With the new CAPS, well, not new CAPS, with the coding that's coming in, that's going to be introduced, it's more of an introduction to schools. So even when this thing is now tested and the draft document has now been approved by the national department, it will be on a level that a lot of schools, it's the minimum criteria. So that will be the basic start, just to introduce children. But then from a governing body's perspective, or from a school that say, well, we actually want to have more. We want to have the children create their robots and games and coding, and it's not really in the time period available with the current curriculum. So for those schools, we can say, well, let's do an extramural club, a coding club, or and you can have your IT coaches even train it, teach the lessons.
Okay. Now, I think that's one of the things that we want to get practical on. So if you can maybe tell us, how do we do that? What is a model for a school to follow? Say a primary school wants to investigate or explore starting a coding club for primary school learners. What would you have available as a service provider in this space for an IT coach or an IT champion at a school?
At the moment, the easiest solution is doing an extramural at the school and the parents pay for that. If it's something that the school must pay, then there's a lot of red tape and it's not being budgeted for this year, so you're looking at something for next year. But if it's something that you say, well, we want this at our schools and we will have our parents pay, then they will pay for the term fee The classes can then start even next term, and we look at a 2-week training, 2-hour training with a teacher. This can be either via TeamViewer or Zoom or these type of platforms, or in person if they request that.
How do they get hold of you? Tell us about School Coding. How long have you been around, and how do they reach you to give them some more information about the products and services you have available?
So at the moment, we are in 10 schools offering coding as extramural. 2 of those schools, it's offered during school time in their computer hours, so the school pays for that. But as an extramural, we've got 8 schools. And since 2016, January 2016, we've started with the extramural program. So the curriculum has been tested, been developed, tried on errors, and we provide all the material, all the lesson plans, all the training videos, everything. You just follow the instructions, you prepare your lesson, your flavor, your school, and you make it as easy as that. We then pay from the term fees, we pay a 10% to the school and say, well, this is for using the facilities. And since it's a teacher, governing body teacher, or the IT champion at the school, we say, well, you have to do a certain number of extramural activities anyway at the school. So for your extra service, we will pay you. So I pay the teachers then over and above a percentage of the term fee, and I don't pay per child. I don't pay per hour. I pay per child, so I pay for the passion. Otherwise, even if you have 4 children or 15 children, you would have maybe received 150 Rand an hour. But now I pay per child, and that just makes more of a difference, so the teachers can run it as their own business and earn extra income.
That sounds great. We'll put your details on our, well, it's on the FEDSAS Tech website, but we'll put it inside the slide pack. Yeah, thanks, Mauritz. I really appreciate your time. Good luck.
Thank you.